We're going to have a look at this, and it says Drag Race star threatens to sue Laurence Fox over devious little pedos remark, and that is just a disgusting thing to say. Drag queens are not pedos in any way, shape, or form. They're just men dressed up in an exaggerated way of women, and that's it. They're not out to get anyone. They're just there to perform their set that they've got. Paul's Drag Race star Nikki Doll was one of the 3 French drag queens to carry the Olympic torch, has threatened to sue former GB News host Laurence Fox over a recent tweet describing drag queens as devious little pedos, and 2 words that I'm never going to say, but you can see it on screen. Nikki Doll, whose name out of drag is Carl something, took part in the historic relay along with 2 other drag queens who are French. The trio were among more than 10,000 Olympic torchbearers who passed through 400 towns and cities ahead of the Games, which began Friday, 26th of July. She was just holding the torch and walking a relatively short distance. What is the problem with that? There is no problem with that. Laurence Fox just wants a reaction and outrage. Season 12 Drag Race star featured in the opening ceremony in a segment called Festivity, which was set around a banquet table and includes several drag queens. The focus of the continued controversy, with people complaining that it mocks Christ's Last Supper, the artist-director Thomas Joly has denied this is the case, and I don't think it actually was a representation of the Bible. I'm sure it was some reference to Greek mythology. Nikki also performed her single I Had a Dream during the ceremony. And I think music is completely and utterly part of drag. That's what drag queens do, along with other things as well. They perform dressed up like exaggerated versions of women. Earlier this year, former Lewis star Fox was successfully sued for libel by drag star Crystal and former trustee Simon Blake following an exchange on Twitter. You can go on there and say whatever you want. You haven't got the people in front of you to directly say it to their face. During the argument sparked by Fox's criticism of supermarket chain Sainsbury's after Black History Month celebration, the Reclaim Party founder called 2 men pedos, as well as Coronation Street star Nicola Thorpe. I call anybody that when there is no evidence in any way, shape, or form. The subsequent ruling issued on Thursday, 25th of April, ordered him to pay Blake and Drag Race star Crystal, whose real name is Colin Seymour, £90,000 each. It is quite a substantial amount of money, I think, and so he should pay the money. I think he should have paid a more serious consequence. You can't just go around there on the internet claiming people are pedos when there's no evidence at all, and there's no police case. Now the Reclaim Party founder faces possible legal action from Nikki Doll for similar reasons. I think Nikki Doll should take them to court. It's their right to do so because they're being accused of being a pedo just because of the fact that they're a drag queen. In the past on Twitter, Nikki Doll responded to Fox's comments on the Olympic ceremony, which he wrote, "No point getting wound up when the child," 2 words I'm not going to say, "want to wind you up. Just laugh at the deviant little pedos." That is just so wrong and so untrue in every way, shape, or form. In response, the host of Drag Race France threatens, "Going to show you that you can't or don't get to write things like that about queer people for fun and the misinformation of it and get away with it. See you in court again, Laurence Fox." And these people that make these claims seriously need to be held accountable for their actions, because I think they can do this and get outrage and notice and followers and be in the news with no real consequences. So that's a tweet from Nikki Doll. There's a tweet that was made by Nikki Doll: "Since you didn't learn the first time around when you called my friend a pedo, I'm going to show you that you don't get to write things like that about queer people for fun and the misinformation of it. Go away with it. See you in court again, at Laurence Fox." He tweeted, "No point getting wound up when the child abusers want to wind you up. Just laugh at deviant little pedos. Eternity is a bitch." Just why can't people just understand the fact that drag is a performance, and dressed up in exaggerated versions of women doing a performance of some kind? Last year, a lawyer told Pink News that people who call others groomers, pedophiles, or other anti-LGBTQ+ slurs online could be in serious danger of being sued. Well, yeah, because it's libelous. You can't go round claiming something when it's not true. You cannot marginalize, stereotype a certain group when the information that you supposedly have about it being true just isn't true in any way, shape, or form. It really does not take a brain cell to work out and understand drag queens are there to do some kind of performance, whether it's music or comedy or something else. It's just men dressed up as exaggerated versions of females, and that's it. After being awarded £90,000 in damages, Crystal, who said the money would go to charity, told Good Morning Britain the impact of Fox's comments had on her. And that's the thing, if you are repeatedly being told that drag queens are pedos, then you're going to end up starting to believe it. And even if you are a drag queen yourself, it's going to cause mental health problems, which is really bad. Paedophilia is one of the oldest homophobic traps there is, and it is a very sticky and serious accusation that can linger on someone's reputation. That is so true. Why can't anti-LGBTQ people have something else to try and attack us with? Like, seriously, how long have people been claiming that the LGBT community are just predators? Have they seriously not got a brain cell to try and come up with something else? It was a really full spectrum of hate coming my way, and I had no idea what the implications were going to be for my career, for my safety. Adding that since then, she's faced threats at events and had hundreds of messages on X calling her a nonce. Seriously, why can't people actually go out there and find the truth about someone, regardless of if you agree with them or not? In someone hateful messages or tweets on social media, I think that those people should also be held accountable. Can't just be calling someone a nonce for no reason. The very last bit says, in April, Mrs. Justice Collins Rice described Fox's words as gross, groundless, and indefensible.